Welcome to the Bigger Room Podcast. I'm your host, Jill Bender.
And I'm Mel Cobian, and today we're going to talk about Halloween. We're just going to ask some really fun questions, so we would love to hear your responses down in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube. Halloween is my favorite holiday, and it's yours too, right, Joe?
I actually just admitted that today. I was live on TikTok talking about Halloween. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to admit it. I'm pretty sure Halloween has taken the number one spot. So that's weird that you just asked that.
Yeah, so if you're like us, we're dedicating an entire month to Halloween, and we're going to cover different topics. But today we're just going to shoot some really fun questions. And again, we'd love to hear your responses. So I'll just kick off with the first question. What is your favorite candy?
Ooh, I don't know that I have a favorite candy anymore. Okay, so I don't like how I feel when I eat like just straight sugar candy, versus chocolate. Yeah. Like there's definitely chocolate or there's like candy. And I grew up eating candy. I never liked chocolate. But now I like chocolate. But if I had no side effects from this candy, then I'm going to say nerds, but those like, not the nerd rope that they cut into little balls. I don't know what those balls are called. They're little nerd balls. Yeah. I could just chow those down and not stop. Except they make me like, I think there's red dye number 5 in there and I can't do it.
There's all the dyes.
That was a long answer, but the whole thing is just made up of dyes. There's not even sugar in it.
No.
Straight up dyes.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so what's your favorite candy, Mel?
I'm the opposite.
I used to chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
My mom didn't eat chocolate when we were growing up. Like, she never liked chocolate. She was like, just never did. So we never did. Like, as kids, we all would prefer. My mom would take a bag of Chewy Sprees, or like she used to always have us pick up like we call them the fire stick, but it's like a Jolly Rancher stick almost, but it was like this fire. It was a hot cinnamon flavor. She loved those. Nerds, runts, not. She loves runts. Like she still buys that stuff every once in a while. But we just didn't really do chocolate. Sorry, I interrupted you. All right, what chocolate is your favorite?
So, I guess back in the day, I was a huge fan of anything like with a wafer or like a Kit Kat.
Yeah,
I could definitely eat those all day. Anything with nuts, whether it was like Hershey's with almonds or Snickers, anything with nuts. But obviously I don't eat that stuff anymore. But there is this really good chocolate called Lake Champlain. Best chocolate ever. So I'll still eat that every now and then. Yeah, chocolate.
If I ate chocolate, it's not like I didn't ever eat it, but Mars bars was always my favorite chocolate bar when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
I do know what a Mars bar is, yes.
They don't make them anymore. They make like Snickers almonds now.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Here's another fun one.
Before we move on, can you guess the number one, without Googling or asking anybody, what's the number one top selling candy in the country?
Candy?
I knew what it was before I even did this, but...
Is it candy corn?
We'll probably get people writing us now. There's so many people that hate candy corn.
I don't. It's the worst candy.
I like candy corn, but a lot of people, you either hate it or you like it.
Yeah, true.
No, true. Number one top selling, like candy, chocolate, anything sweet. Like a candy includes chocolate. So, what's the most popular?
Snickers. Chocolate.
No. And I would ask the audience to send in their answers, but everybody has Google, so that would be pointless.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
That's my wife's favorite.
There's too much chocolate involved. If they got rid of that like hard layer of chocolate, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like if I eat them, I just take it and I tip it upside down, and then I just scrape off the bottom hunk of it and throw out the top.
Why even bother at that point?
I never eat them. I don't like them. Okay, what's the next question? This is gonna take a while if we have these long of answers.
This is gonna be a fun one. Do you believe in ghosts or the paranormal?
Isn't that the same thing? Oh, you
Yeah,
made it
kind
sound
of.
like either or is the same
Yeah, yeah,
thing.
pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah,
I have one
I do
reason that I
too.
believed in it. When I
Yeah.
was younger, I decided it was like a question that would come up when we were younger for some reason, but I decided I never wanted the ghost to prove me wrong, so I just flat out believed in them. Like, I believe you exist. You don't need to come here to prove me wrong.
So you believed out of fear.
I believed out of fear, yeah. Yeah.
It's like that's like religion, Jill.
Yeah. Pretty much.
On another episode, we could share some paranormal stuff if we've experienced it. But I also believe in ghosts and
I
paranormal.
totally want to. I have a really good spooky story.
Yeah, I do too. Okay. Guys,
Cool.
stay tuned.
Yeah.
What was the worst Halloween costume or the best Halloween costume you've ever worn?
My worst one wasn't even like a freaking costume. It was like I hadn't been to a Halloween party in a long time and I was just trying to be something spooky and I painted my face white, but it made my face look really big and I wasn't like anything anyway, so it was embarrassing. And I felt like when in Mean Girls when she shows up dressed as a spooky vampire and all the other girls are sexy. That's exactly how I felt. Like I was the spooky, ugly character at the party while everybody else is just cute and in fun costumes.
Yeah.
That was my worst.
That's like my same exact vibe. If I do dress up or if I have like either the dorkiest or just flat out scary compared to everybody dressing like you said, like the Mean Girls, all the slutty, sexy stuff. Never me.
What was
Although
your
I do
best
have
costume?
I've just had so many that it's hard. Some are very inappropriate. And not like the slutty sexy, it's just like I can't say it.
Okay, well you can tell me later. But what's your favorite costume ever? There's got to be at least like one that you thought was your most fun.
Anything Day of the Dead, where it's just like the Day of the Dead kind of face painting.
Dia de Muertos.
Yes, I always love that. I always love that stuff.
And that's what you've dressed up as?
Yeah, I definitely do that. And it always scares the children because then I'll put on like a black veil over, so it's creepy.
And then you're 6 feet tall, so you're just like towering over them.
I just stare at their eyes like through them, and then children get scared. Yeah. So it went from being like this nice, beautiful face painting to black veil stare at their eyes kind of thing.
My favorite costume that I ever was that I pulled off like perfectly, it was a friend and me. I was like, we're gonna be nerds, like Box of Nerds. And it was before everybody started doing boxes of nerds. It was like early of the internet or whatever. But yeah, we decorated them perfectly, and then we walked around with nerdy glasses, and we had the whole thing, and we went at the party, and it was like a super fun costume. So that's probably my favorite one.
Your favorite? Yeah, I gotta tell you later the inappropriate one. That was very, very funny.
Yeah.
I like funny costumes too. Maybe go to like the funny dorky sections at the Halloween spirit stores. Yeah, those are really funny. All right. If you had to pick one Halloween movie to watch every single year, what would it be?
Every single year? That's easy because I watch Halloween movies every year.
Me too.
What have we watched?
What's one that you have to watch? What is like one that you have to watch?
It's changed now because of my son, and I hate this because it sounds so cliche because it's gotten so popular now with like followings, but it used to always be Hocus Pocus, and that's probably the number one movie that everybody has to watch. What?
Yeah, I said that's mine. I watch that one every year. It's one of my favorite movies. It's if not my favorite Halloween movie.
My son will not let me watch it this year. I'm like, we have to watch it once. It's Halloween. You have to watch it once with me.
Yep.
It's not a boy movie.
I love that movie. It's so well done, especially when they did the second part. It's still very good. It's really good.
The second one, you like it?
I do like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it too.
Funny.
No, I love them, and we will watch them. I told my son he had to agree to at least one night. He had to give it to me. So,
Yeah.
but what we watched, and we've watched them probably at least 6 times this year. Maybe not this season, but we've at least seen it 3 times recently. Is the newest Haunted Mansion. We like all the
Okay.
Haunted Mansions. There's 3 Haunted Mansions,
Yeah.
and they're all great. And the most recent one that came out last year, that one's awesome. And my son loves that movie, and he loves Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito's in it, and he freaking
Yeah.
loves Danny DeVito. What 8-year-old likes Danny DeVito? It's
None.
so random.
No.
Okay,
Are
Hocus Pocus.
yeah, Hocus Pocus for us, but that's like a must every single year, without missing it for sure. What is the scariest movie scene if you don't remember, or what's the scariest movie you have seen?
I've seen a million scary movies. Scariest movie.
I'm talking like you were trying to like put your hands on your face because you were actually scared. Or, when you do that,
Sure.
you want to watch but you don't want to watch.
Mel, I'm pretty sure I explained this to you. I watch every scary movie with my hand in front of my face, and I almost don't see anything. I don't. I think I would want to text my niece. I think it's like Sinister. Is that the one with the little boy?
Yeah,
I think Sinister. I
there's
think
one
that's
with the little boy.
horrifying.
So. Yeah,
That's
Sinister.
true.
Okay.
I used to always say The Shining was one of the scariest movies. Children of the Corn is terrifying.
Yeah.
But a lot of the new ones that I don't really get into. Like, I don't think I've seen The Nun. She's too freaky looking to even
The
look
Nun
at.
is creepy. Yeah, I was about to get a tattoo of the Nun she has red eyes. Yeah, I know, but I didn't. Yeah, that was a really good movie.
Yeah, I don't know if I thought that was part of the Conjuring series, but
it's the same directors. It does kind of tie in the stories. It's the same directors, but I was about to say, yeah, that like with all the Annabelle, with the Annabelle movies, during all that, it's the same producers that made the movies.
I love The Conjuring. I love those movies, and then I don't mind Annabelle at all. Yeah, but I'm trying to think. Like the newer movies, they definitely are way freaking scary. I remember going to the movies to see Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I had seen the original one, which is just fucked up. I don't know if you've ever seen the original one. It is a fucked up movie, and boy, was I in for a surprise when the new one came out, because I think it was a Rob Zombie movie, and it was so fucking bloody and just gory and terrifying. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. So
can you name like number one?
To me, all the Conjuring and like the Nun, to me, like they have definitely like scared me. Like I like hide myself. To me, like to this day, I think they're some of the best like well done movies because of the storyline. A lot of movies focus on jump scares. If I watch a scary movie and it's like nothing but jump scares, I don't enjoy it. But when it has a good storyline and then the jump scares and it's like low key terrifying, I think that's why I'm a fan of those movies. But when I was a teenager, the first movie that ever scared me was like The Grudge 2 or The Grudge 3, one of those. It was
any creepy. Of The Grudge. Is Sarah Michelle Gellar in the first one? Is that the one in Japan?
I think so, yes.
That had a little boy in it too, right?
Yep. I don't remember if it was The Grudge 2 or The Grudge 3, but I went to go watch it at a movie theater, and my brother and my cousin wouldn't stop talking, so I got up and I moved further back because they were being annoying. So I was sitting by myself. That was like the first. I was like 15 or 16 years old. I don't know, and it's the first time I ever felt scared watching a movie.
I got a question. Yeah. What do you think the worst scary movie is? Like where it was like just the worst one. It could be either because it was just dumber than shit, or it was just a unnecessarily made movie. Like,
It's hard to think of a name, but a lot of the Netflix ones, I'm sorry, I know people are a huge fan of some of the Netflix movies, but they're just so dumb. They're not scary, they're just dumb. Yeah.
well, I could name The Hills Have Eyes. That was the first movie I ever almost walked out. Like, I was standing up,
Oh yeah.
ready to go out
And
the
not,
door.
I wouldn't watch that again, but I've seen it, yeah.
I hated
The
that
Hills Have
movie.
Eyes.
And then,
I'm not a fan of the Saw movies either.
yeah. That's not scary stuff. That's like
Just like gory.
I don't like I just don't like the disturbing movies where it's like, why do you have to unnecessarily just be mean? Like a serial killer like Michael Myers is one thing where he's going out and killing people. He's not doing anything to torture them. That's what I hate. I hate the torture movies.
Gotcha.
And I hate Strangers. That's a movie. I won't even watch that movie. Not because I think it's so scary, just because I think it's just like, why are you so fucked up in the head that you're just going to torment this? I think they torment a family, don't they? I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen it either, but I've seen the trailer. The most annoying scenes in movies is when somebody trips and their phone flies like 100 feet and then they're like, no signal. It's so annoying. When people, you never seen like in movies, like when it's building up that momentum when they're being chased by the bad guys. Because you said Michael Myers, and I'm like, oh, the only thing that upsets me about those movies is he's freaking walking. The person is running, and he's still right there.
Yeah. They don't have a phone because those movies, almost all of them are too old for phones.
Yeah, or a freaking pager or whatever. I don't know, but it always.
You're such a millennial.
However, I was in elementary school when I watched all the what's his name, Freddy Krueger movies.
Mm-hmm. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. I don't know if I could sit through them now, kind of like the original Exorcist movie, because of the way the cinematography was back then. I could like watch those movies, but now I can't. But yeah,
it's funny you brought up Freddy Krueger because one, I weirdly get this like, I get in this mood where I'm like, I think I'm just gonna turn on the first Nightmare on Elm Street. I think I can watch that by myself now. Like, and I literally watch every movie with my hand in front of my face, but I won't watch any of it. I will not watch it if I'm at home. I'm not watching it with my 8-year-old, so I don't usually turn any of that stuff on. But it's so hard to even explain why I get in the mood to watch Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one. But I just had that feeling last week. I was like, I want to go home and watch Nightmare on Elm Street, and I haven't done it. This is the second year I've had that weird feeling. But the other thing is that I think I saw this on TikTok. It was like the real story of Freddy Krueger, and it was, I don't even remember it, but maybe we could find like, it was like I don't even know if it was a fake TikTok, if it was a legit thing, but it was a man, but I think he killed his kids and his wife.
So it's like based on that storyline. See, I actually love when you watch a scary movie and it'll say like based on a true story or based on real events, and I'm like 10 times scarier automatically right away.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, I have a fun.
Yeah, and I think he burned though, and for some reason he was going to get the town back, and I don't remember why, if they burned him or if they didn't save him or something. I don't know. It was like a whole story, but he definitely did burn. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, I was gonna ask you a fun question. Have you ever gone through a haunted house experience where you pay to go into a haunted house? Yeah.
I won't do it anymore. But yeah, and I've gone to many of them, like tons of them. I've grown up. Yeah. My mom made me go because I couldn't stay home, and my sister always wanted to go, and she would like literally drag me through them, and I'd kicking and screaming and crying. I remember a witch was taking tickets, and I was crying, and she asked me like, "Are you like?" She was concerned that I was being dragged through this, and it was kind of like a reach out, like, "Do you need help?" she are being dragged through this, and my mom was like, knock it off. And so I had to suck up my sniffles and get chased by a guy with a chainsaw.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I could see you liking them.
Yeah, except there is one, and for anyone who ever goes to Southern California, go to the Whaley House down in Old Town San Diego. It was like the first mansion in San Diego. They give you like the whole history of it, which is so creepy because it was during a time where punishment was hanging people. They used to hang people, so that tree where they used to hang people is still right there. And they talk about all the crimes and stuff that happen, and the energy when you walk in is just heavy. And the only thing I remember when I was there, and they were like walking us and telling us this room was this and this room was that. They had like this like red rope so that you couldn't go into the room, and it just started moving by itself like this, just swinging
Ooh.
back and forth. And I was like, somebody moved that? Who moved that? And it was just going back and forth. I was like, it's either mechanically activated or it's truly moving. I don't know. And it was a strange vibe. And they let you take pictures, and sure enough, you take pictures, and I still have them. You could see different figures.
Cool. I did a ghost tour in Galena, Illinois. It's like a big, huge, like haunted old school town. And the history with them is they have these huge steel doors that are just like wide open as you go in. And it was like a town, like a port, because it was off the river.
Yeah.
And they would close those big steel gates, I think, to keep like the town from being flooded, maybe. I don't really know because the town is super hilly and everything, but there was this lady, this like local town drunk. She would get thrown in jail for the night, sleep it off kind of thing. And it was like in the 1800s, I think. Well, the town flooded and the jail cell was in the basement and nobody let her out. And so she ended up dying down there. And so then people say that they've like seen her walking around. It's a really cute little town, like a picturesque little town that you go, and it has all these shops and everything. And people have seen, like, say they've seen her walking around on the streets every once in a while, whatever. So they have like really good stories tied with everything. But President Grant had a house there, and the President Grant house, they said it was like this old historic house, and they said it's super haunted or whatever. So when we were outside, we couldn't go in for some reason. There was no tour inside, but I was taking a bunch of pictures, and then on one of my pictures, like there was orbs everywhere, but on one of my pictures, it was different than the other orbs. Most of those orbs were just kind of like a whitish color orb you see in pictures, old photographs for sure. And then there was one, and it was slightly bigger, and it was blue and green. And when you zoom and you blow that up, you can see like a face in it. And I have said that to everybody I know, and people that were like, I don't believe in any of this shit, Jill, but that picture is freaky. Like that legit looks like something. So it's kind of cool.
It is cool. It's cool to be able. It's crazy how you can't see it with the naked eye, but with photographs you can capture that. It's definitely cool. Yeah. I do have one last fun question here. Do you think Halloween is more fun as a kid or as an adult?
Hands down, as an adult.
Yeah, I agree.
I was terrified of everything when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Halloween was a crying thing for me. A lot of crying, a lot of tears.
As a kid, I think like what you look forward to the most is just the candy, like this freedom of, oh my god, I get so much candy. But as an adult, it's like you can have candy whenever you want. It's not that as exciting.
Right. But Halloween has become so much bigger, now than it ever was. Some of the things that were really fun about Halloween was that we got to go like run around on our own. Me and my friends, like we just went, and it would be dark out and we'd still be running around. I have I remember one time they had a lot of leaves that were piled up, at the end. So I don't know if they do that up by you, but like you put them at the end and then the thing comes and vacuums them up. And so they had, my whole neighborhood had these leaf piles everywhere, except for my yard, because my dad would never have such a thing. So we went, my friend Belle and I, we went trick-or-treating, And we were at this house. We got candy, and the people across the street, they were probably like, in their 20 somethings or whatever. These guys, they're laughing, like they're cracking up, and they're looking over at us. And I'm already on edge because Halloween just scared me to death. And we already had been out trick or treating for quite a while, but now I'm like, it's dark. It's just me and her, and they're laughing for some reason, and I don't trust them. And so we're walking down. I'm like, I don't want to go over to their house, and like, let's just go this way. And so we're on the sidewalk, and all of a sudden, out of the leaf pile that we were next to, this guy just emerges, like, "Rah!" Like comes flying out of the leaf. We start running. I think Belle's like, "Rah!" And so we're running, but for some reason, when I get really scared, it makes me laugh. Like I'm a total weirdo, and I like if I am laughing. So I'm laughing, and she is so much faster than me because I keep laughing so hard, and I'm like, wait! She's like just gone. She is focused, and she is not stopping for anything, and I'm getting killed if this was a real movie. Like she is not coming back for me. She was running so focused and so fast, which made me laugh even harder. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be dead in the scary movie scene for that reason. So one of the things, I have a Halloween camping trip next weekend with my family. We've been doing this since the 90s now. And we have golf carts, and we play golf cart tag at night, and we go out, and they have trails that we drive around on, and you drive like there's trails by the cornfield and everything. And it's usually my brother. It's usually the golf cart with the guys on it. They will shut off their lights and drive down the trail, and then they'll sneak up behind us, and we won't know because there's no freaking lights on. But sometimes I think it's going to be really dark this year because we already had our full moon. Like, I don't know. I think we're in the middle of the moon cycle. But when it's darker, it's even scarier. And before the golf cart days, we would go on walks into the woods at night, and then the guys, half of them would just take off. Bless you. They would just be gone. And now you're like, oh, crap, because you're walking along and you don't know when they're coming out. It's super fun. It's so scary, but it's super fun. And I hate being the golf cart driver at those times because I want to hide. I can't.
Yeah, you're the one that has to get away from everyone, and you're driving. And so,
that sounds like a look at everything. It's so scary, Mel.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I know when we lived on the East Coast, somewhere on the East Coast, they have the largest corn maze for Halloween. Mm-hmm. And it was actually quite hard to get out. It was the largest, and they did such a great job, but we got out.
Corn mazes are huge. We went to the corn maze a couple years ago, and I have a different friend that she doesn't get into the let's see what's going to happen kind of thing, or let's all stick together and be scared together because it's fun. If she thinks there's any threat, she's out. Like, immediate. I'm out, and she's gone. I'm like, no, we have to stick together. I'm like, the one who's got by himself gets killed first. What are you doing? Get back here. And so she does this every time. And what was I going to say? Oh, so we're in this corn maze, and it was a big group of us, and like we had drinks with us, like we had a bonfire, like we're hanging out, and then we're all in the corn maze, and there are the platforms that you can go up and kind of like look out and see where you're at, hopefully. And so half of us were on the platform, half of us weren't. And somebody's like, what is that light over there? And so we're looking like forever away in the corn, and you can see like the trails and stuff are cut, and you see this like light flick on and off. So now we're all focused on this light, and he flicks the light on again. It's some fucking weirdo that is wearing a mask, and he's just popping out of the corn and then shines the light on his face, and then he'd duck back in. It was so scary. I'm like, you psycho. What are you doing way out there by yourself just trying to scare people? And then I told my one friend that is always out, she's like, I'm out right now. I'm like, you didn't even see it. She's like, don't care. I'm going. Let's go. We're out. Like, get out of this cornfield right now. It's not worth the risk. I'm like, okay. It was scary.
That's
okay.
Terrifying. Especially if you're ever drinking.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I love that.
Yeah. We know I'm not getting away. I'll be laughing.
Exactly.
Right down to the end.
Yeah. All right, you guys. I hope we see your answers in the comments. Make sure to, drop us your answers because we'd love to read them. And on next week's episode, we're going to talk about movies that are based on true events. It's going to be fun.
Scary movies. This is our Halloween
Scary
theme.
movies. That's right.
And remember, if you know somebody that's way into Halloween, will you share our podcast with them? Because the whole month of October, we're going to be spitting out Halloween stuff. It's going to be really fun. And if you have a topic that you would love for us to mention or cover, shoot us an email or drop it in the comments on YouTube. Thanks so much for listening.